Hey everybody, Syntax77 here, and for this edition of SinChats, a frequently asked question. I get this every once in a while, and I figured I'd make a little SinChats on it to get some conversation going, because I also want to hear your thoughts on it as well, and it relates to water bladders. Question being, do you still use a water bladder? And if not, why'd you ditch it? Well, in my case, I did. This is my Osprey water reservoir that I originally picked up when I first started backpacking, and came in really handy, but I'll tell you why I got away from using it. And it's just because of my personal usage. Varies from person to person, so it doesn't mean that everybody should throw out their water bladder because I don't use mine under most circumstances. When I first started hiking, I had a much larger pack. Those of you who have watched a decent amount of the videos, or at least a wide span of videos, have probably noticed this. When I had that heavier pack, and I was less familiar with backpacking, I was fine with popping this in my pack. Now this one, in particular the Osprey model, similar to a Camelbak, but this one is more rigid and keeps its form when it's in your pack and the water level goes down. It doesn't just shrink all over the place. It actually maintains its shape, which can make it a little easier for filling it up when it's empty as well. Also means this one's a little heavier. Speaking of heavy, this is about a ½ pound empty. Camelbak, maybe 6.5 ounces or something like that. But either way, you're looking at close to ½ pound for carrying this. Now the convenience was when I had that huge pack on that I could just have this tube clipped to my pack. In my case, I had actually a little magnet on my system there. So it pops right on and off. I can drink whenever I need to without taking that pack off and without stopping. So that's super convenient when you're on the move and trying to stay hydrated. And less instances where I had to haul that painful experience of putting the pack back on and off and all that. Now, over the years, I've gotten my pack down smaller and smaller, lighter and lighter. Now I got this Osprey Hornet 46 pack, which they don't even make anymore, but you get the idea. It's a 46 liter pack, and I use that now with a base weight of around 10 pounds or less sometimes. So it's easy for me to throw this thing on and off, and it doesn't bother me to just keep simple disposable water bottles, which is usually my preference over Nalgene, but you know, do whatever you got to do. These are easily an ounce or less though. I keep these just in the side pocket, slipped right down in there, right? Pop it out. Usually I can just keep my pack right on one shoulder, swing it around, grab it out, drink, go. It doesn't really bother me because the pack is lighter, comes on and off pretty easily. And then on top of that, I've saved myself a ½ pound or a little less than a ½ pound because I'm still paying about maybe an ounce or more for a couple of these disposable bottles. But that's my reason for it. And then in winter, I definitely don't bring them because I don't want to worry about the lines freezing. Although I'm sure there's tips and tricks out there. If you know them, share them on how to use these in winter and keep them going too. But I've never even bothered to try that. I usually do a harder Nalgene for those instances. Another thing that kind of got on my nerves with this too, and it might not be quite so bad nowadays with my lighter, more minimalist pack setup, but especially when I had that 70 liter pack that was just crammed full of like 40 pounds of crap, this slides internally down inside your pack. So there's usually, if you look at your pack, there's a little pouch on the back there, on the inside, and you slide this down in there. When you stop to fill up water, maybe I'm just lazy or whatever, but I would find that kind of annoying because I'm not going to try to fill this up while it's in my pack. Maybe some of you do that as well, but I would say slide it out. Well, I might be able to slide it out, but my pack is so jammed full that getting it back in without taking all the other crap out, or at least a lot of it, almost impossible. So that was another thing, the hassle of filling it up. Now I've seen some guys just hang this on the outside of their pack. I know some thru hikers have said they do that, hang one of these on the outside of their pack. That's great. If you want to do that, go for it. Like I'm saying, you know, there's many ways to skin a cat. So me personally, I don't like too much stuff hanging and swinging on my pack. I guess I could bungee, not bungee, but like, you know, use some shock cord there to kind of fasten it on the outside, and that would get rid of that annoyance problem with coming in and out of the pack. But that's another reason that I got away from using these. But that's just me. I'm wondering though, out there, what are your thoughts? Do you still, or have you ever used one of these? Do you swear by it? Did you used to use it, now you've gotten away from it? Maybe you have some tips and tricks on how to make it more worthwhile, or maybe there's some lighter versions of this out there that I don't know about. Please share it in the comment section below. hey, maybe you think that I'm just completely out of my mind and I shouldn't be sitting around making a whole video about water bladders. But, you know, what are you going to do? Some of us like to nerd out on this stuff. Till next time, I'm Syntax77, and you have fun out there.